Hi guys, Cynthia here, and today we are doing some more planting. Surprise, surprise, right? All right guys, so we're gonna walk over to the window boxes so you can see kind of what I'm talking about here. So over in the front of the house, I have these containers, and I actually put all the plants in there because I just wanted to see if I needed any more. I am going to add some polka dot plants that I bought, and these asparagus fern I'm going to cut back. These are from last year. They wintered over. They look a little crazy because they've just been sitting kind of in this like sunny spot, which I probably should put them in deep shade, but that's okay. I'm going to cut it back and cut it up and then put it throughout the window boxes. Another few containers that I have, you'll see that I have two. Hey, there's pumpkin in the window. I have two urns flanking the door area, or the front deck, and I'm going to cut that fern in half, and I'm going to add some of these coleus, which I think are really pretty. I have to clean the rocks out, but I think I'm going to add some of the coleus around the fern, and then some sweet potato vine also, just to kind of make it mirror each other, if that makes any sense, like the window boxes and the containers. And over here on this side, I have a yellow begonia and some more of these. I believe those, what are they? I can't remember what they're called. I'll have to look at the tag. And then also a creeping Jenny that I think it'll look really pretty, that I have to do that container. Then over here, I have this little swan, which I put a pink begonia in, and I think that'll look really, really pretty. This scary container that I have here from last year, I am putting this really pretty. I just wanted, hummingbird attractors. So I got this here. This is a fuchsia, which I thought was so pretty, and it's gonna just get really big. And then I'm also putting some creeping Jenny in the container because I think that will be very pretty. I have a container that you can't really see anymore because of this giant Empress Woo. I'm putting that orange begonia. I think it's gonna just be a nice pop of brightness. I have all the colors, the blue, the green, the red, and I thought it would be really nice to have, I don't know, something much brighter. This container over here, I found this begonia. It's looking not great, but it is what it is. That is actually a really small container. It's really pretty. It's got like people, cherubs holding them up. And I'm going to throw that in there. In this container, I have another yellow begonia, and then I have some purple sweet potato vine, and I'm going to put some polka dotted plants in there. So those are all the containers we're doing. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to add this Super Tunia Really Red. I think it'll be really nice. It's going to be a nice contrast in color. It's going to give me all the colors in this container. I'm going to go ahead and just add some of this Proven Winners shaky cheese, shaky fertilizer just throughout, because I realized that I did not do it before. I normally just put this stuff in my garden beds, or not garden beds, I'm sorry. I normally just put this stuff in my window boxes, but I figure why not in here too, right? I shake very little of this in. It's not because I used all of the other fertilizers, and then I'm going to also, feed it with a liquid fertilizer. That is going to be so pretty, that pop of red. I'm going to just pull off the bottom half of it. There we go. That is going to be so pretty when it grows in. I'll water everything in a little bit later. So the container mix that I'm using is Black Cow. I use it a lot because it actually holds on to moisture really good. So I'm just making a well in there. And in that well, let me move this bag now. In that well, I'm just going to throw in a little bit of plant foam. That. I was going to throw flower tone in there, but I'm not going to do that right now. I only have one flowering plant in here, so. And it is this really pretty yellow begonia. Oh, it's called Blitz. I love begonias. I love them because they are very little work. What I mean by that is because of how tuberous or how thick the stems are, it holds onto water really well. So you don't have to worry about watering this plant that much. There we go. I'm just putting that in the back. She's going to grow nice and tall. Making sure that I'm putting soil all in around. Then I'm going to add this really pretty potato vine, sweet potato vine, they call it, there was no name for it, but it does say that it needs full sun. This section gets morning sun, and quite frankly, I don't need it to grow wild like you see a lot of sweet potato vines do. You know, you see them kind of get huge and trail all the way down. I don't need that because this container is very low to the ground. Just a little pro tip, I always like to use a container to kind of backfill so that I don't spill as much. Then I have these cute little polka dot plants. Aren't they super cute? Splash White, and I think this one is called Splash Rose. I'm not sure how much I'm going to put of each, but I'm just going to dot them around. One back here, a pink one. I'm going to put another pink one in the back. Like this. Pink one in the front. There we go. You want to make sure that all of your root balls are covered. And I think that looks cute. I think it's going to fill in really nicely. Just going to put a little bit more of the shaky stuff. Just right on top. How cute is that, guys? I really like it. What do you think? It's a little strange, but I like strange containers. We are going to continue the container planting.
So you'll see why I always plant something extremely bright right here. It actually pops, and you can see it from the road. I never plant anything like white or light color because it kind of blends into the house. You can see it popping through. Can you see it behind the huge hosta? That is why I always do bright red or yellow. But this container, I really like how it came out. Isn't it really pretty? I think it's also going to be a stunner once it kind of grows in and all of the hummingbirds find it. So I really like how that came out. This cute little swan I actually got from Facebook Marketplace, and I always put a begonia here, but we'll see if I keep it. I'm not sure.
This is filled to the brim. There's old roots in here and just a mess. So I really love begonias, but every time I go ahead and plant them in these window boxes, I have really bad luck. Oh, you're a little crooked. I have really bad luck when it comes to begonias in my window boxes. I tend to overwater a lot, and that's just never good. Oy. So I'm starting with mushroom compost. This compost is super heavy because it's been sitting outside, so it's really wet. I'm doing like 8 handfuls of mushroom compost. Oh no, I dropped some in my rocks. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then, of course, biotone, plant tone, all of the tones. Only did 1 handful of biotone. I'm going to do 2 handfuls of plant tone. So these boxes in the front of the house get deep shade. Deep, deep, deep shade. I'm talking like really bad. No sun at all. I'm just going to shake some of this Proven Winters Premium Continuous Release Fertilizer. I'm going to mix it all in. There we go. Beautiful. This is called the Non-Stop White Tuberous Begonia. Look how pretty that is. Oh, I just think she's a pretty, pretty princess. Look at that, guys. Non-Stop White Tuberous Begonia. Putting her on the edge. Now, I always plant the begonia a little high because I tend to rot out my begonias every time. Without fail, I don't know how it happens. It's every single time with these dang begonias. After that, after the begonia, I'm gonna go ahead with this Rex begonia. It's called Black Tie. Already just so much interest. Next to that one, I'm putting this begonia. This begonia is called the Cherry Fields. I wanted to have like a low maintenance type of container because I'm not going to be able to water every day or at all. And again, because these are very tuberous plants, I'm planting them pretty high in here.
So this is the only container that I'm a little bit skeptical about. I am not sure how I like it. Maybe when it starts to fill in, it might look a lot nicer, but who knows? I don't know. Well, I found this fern and it was kind of expensive, so I split it in half and I'm putting it to flank my doorway. And you can see it's just these are my favorite this year. I have tried so many things by the door because it literally gets no sun, and I think this is perfect.
All right, guys, that is all she wrote. I think these containers look really, really good. I have tried so many different plants here, but because it is so shady, nothing really works. But I think this will be perfect. Right next to Hebe, I have this container, which is not my favorite container so far. But I think once it grows in, I'm going to like it much better. It just isn't giving me the pizzazz that I want. I wanted the yellow because I'm putting sunflowers on the wreath, and so I wanted something just a little bit bright here. I don't know. I think it'll grow in, and I think it'll look much nicer. Over to the window boxes. The window boxes are so, so pretty. They get about maybe an hour or two worth of sun, but not much. So, again, just a little bit more uh, deep shade type plants. I hope the begonias live. I tend to rot them out. I'm not very good with begonias. I tend to overwater and just in the window box. I think it's because these window boxes also have like a watering system on the inside that they retain water. So I just have to be a little bit selective on what I water. I'll just water like the polka dotted plants and the potato plants, and then the rest I will give because all the rest of them are tuberous. Those are tuberous begonias. Those, all of them are. They have these really thick stems which hold a lot of liquid, and also the ferns, those asparagus ferns, they have those little like potato tubers, it looks like. So they also retain lots of water. So I just have to be very careful about how I water that one. Over here, I really think this looks really cute. This swan is kind of hard to keep planted. The squirrels and chipmunks always tend to dig up this plant here. So we'll see how long this lasts, but I think it's really pretty. I thought about putting like the um, hardy succulents in here so that it's just winter interest and it kind of is a carpet. And I might think about that because of the squirrel issue. If they end up giving me a problem with digging this guy up, I will definitely you know figure out what I'm going to do here. This container, which I really like, I do need to get a new liner for it. It is wrapped in plastic on the inside, but this, I really like it. I have a fuchsia and some creeping Jenny, and I think once that all just grows in, it's going to be beautiful. Next container, this begonia back here, I really like it. The reason why I chose something kind of bright orange red is because it needs to pop from behind this enormous hosta. So that is why I chose that particular. I always do begonias in here because I tend to forget to water these containers. Therefore, I put something that doesn't need that much water. This begonia is another angel wing begonia, but it is bright red. And I'm really happy with this one too. I wanted to put something else along the base, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully the chipmunks don't get to it. We'll see. This container is another little hodgepodge of a container, but I like it. I think it looks cute. I think once it grows in, it's going to look nicer. Kind of messy right now, but I'm not mad about it. You know what I mean? I tend to do a lot of like weird colors. If I like it in the store, I'm going to buy it. Whether it goes together or not, it's a container for the love of Christmas. You know what I mean? Over to this container where I added, just a reminder, I have a Gumphrina that I started from seed, a lavender, a little yellow dahlia, and then another dahlia that you can see that is huge right now. And then I just added that petunia, which I think is going to look pretty once it starts to drape and kind of take over the container. I think that's going to look really nice. I still have to plant in the nepeta, which I'm going to put right where it is, I'm sure. All right, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it today. I still have to do my full sun containers, which I have not forgotten, but I need to buy one more thing before I feel like I have enough for that container. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me today. And remember, if you didn't get it done today, there is always tomorrow.